Adem Kassie Abebe is a program officer at the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance. He's joining us now from The Hague for more analysis on those elections in Ethiopia. Adem, good to have you with us. So just explain for us how challenging it is to hold a free and fair election in a country like Ethiopia that's seeing so much conflict.
Obviously very difficult. At the same time, you cannot stop organizing elections because they are. As you already pointed out in the introduction, there is conflict in Tigray, which means the region is excluded. And there has also been oppressive tactics in Oromia that has forced some of the opposition, the main opposition parties, to boycott it, which means voters in the region will have fewer options to cast their votes. So it's difficult circumstances, and I think we must also recognize that elections are only part of a broader process of transition. So we must continue to engage beyond the elections to make sure that the hoped for transition can materialize.
I'm glad you mentioned the opposition parties in Oromia because they are boycotting this vote. Does that then undermine any result that we get?
Naturally, the elections in Oromia are seen as a lot less competitive than they would have been if the main opposition Oromo parties have participated. So in that regard, there is very little option for voters in the region. At the same time, the line of argument among the government is that the elections must continue and they cannot stop simply because opposition parties have boycotted it. And that's why I think it will be critical to engage because the elections will not be seen as reflecting popular differences in terms of ideas and sentiments in Oromia. So we'll have to find a way to complement whatever comes out of the elections. But you're right, I think the absence of the main opposition in Oromia makes it less competitive and therefore less reflective of popular sentiment in the region.
And finally then, Adem, where do you place Abiy Ahmed at the moment in terms of the way that he's trying to bring Ethiopia together? Of course, came in as someone from Oromia, one of the first ever prime minister from that region, but there has been some criticism about his leadership following the fighting in Tigray. So how do you assess the way he's running the country leading into these elections?
It is, Abiy Ahmed inherited a lot of problems, particularly the ethnic divisions were already there, the contestations, the economic troubles were already starting when he came to power. So he inherited a very difficult situation, and he started very well. At the same time, I think after a few, especially since the late 2019, he has moved at a pace that has confused the opposition party, that has divided the Oromo elite in the region, and also essentially contributed to the conflict that we see in Tigray today. So he has made efforts to bring the country together, but I think he has also made some mistakes. But it's important to recognize that the challenge, most of them were inherited, and they were already complicated, and he has sought to fix them, and in the process he has made some mistakes as well. But I think he is somebody that has quite a large popular support in Oromia, but mainly in other parts of the country. So I wouldn't dismiss him as a key actor in the country. And quite frankly, in the elections, they are also very likely to win. His party himself are going to win going ahead. But I think he would need to fix some of the mistakes he's made, particularly by engaging the Oromo opposition and by engaging the Tigray opposition going forward.
All right. Adem Kassie Abebe from the International Institute for Democracy and Electoral Assistance. Appreciate your analysis. Thanks for being with us.